Hey y'all, what's up? It's Dre Under the Leaves and welcome back to my channel. I did know that the day would come that one day I would have pests, a pest that I don't want to really deal with. I knew that there would be more than spider mites in my life one day. And here we are. We have hit that day. Your girl found root mealies. Just to give the backstory before I get into the very drastic actions I'm about to take with the plants that were in the area of a plant that I found with root mealies. Matter of fact, see how I'm not even doing the backstory properly? I actually found root mealies in, I think maybe it might have been my Dacia and another plant, and I just immediately threw them out, right? I had treated all of my plants with systemic, so I just believed that the systemic was going to hold on. However, you do have to repeat it every 8 weeks, and I think that if you're noticing that it's popping up in multiple plants, right? Like even if you can't see it initially, but you're noticing like, okay, cool, I saw it in one plant, threw it out, but then didn't see it in the pot of the other one. If you don't unravel it fully, you don't know if they're there until they get to the outside of the pot. And I feel like once they're at the outside of the pot, that's a big deal. So I found them in a couple plants, and I unfortunately have a pretty good feeling of how I ended up with root mealies. And I think that's because I put too much faith in a company, right? And I've previously been known to say that I don't really change the substrate of plants from a certain place, but I realized that's my mistake, right? That's my mistake, because actually I had also found them on my tortum right around the new year, which is also why I don't have a tortum anymore, because I just threw it out. I did not want to deal with that. And now I'm at the point where I have to deal with plants that are likely going through it as a result of the root mealybug. I'm not opposed to letting go of some plants. So during this video, I have 17 plants coming from my Vitro wide. All of the plants on there, I am completely resetting and restarting. I'm not even playing. I'm restarting them. This water bottle here, spray bottle, is filled with 70% alcohol straight up. So I plan to get some cuttings of each, spray each of them, and then wipe them down with rubbing alcohol, because rubbing alcohol will kill them on contact, even if they've crawled down the stem like the nymphs and stuff. We not playing these games, okay? And when I pot them up, I'm gonna pot them up with systemic as well. We're not playing these games. We've really taken life seriously, because I don't do the bugs. Y'all know me at this point. I don't do the bugs. So yeah, that's just the backstory. Okay, y'all. So I brought y'all down. Here's what we finna do. I have some shears, okay? I am going to spray my shears between each plant just to be safe. I already sprayed them with rubbing alcohol with peroxide and clean them, but I'm just gonna spray them with the alcohol just in case anything is on there. You know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? I'm gonna wipe it actually. Let me get some paper towel. Okay, so now that we're situated, we're down here. Y'all can already see a preview. So any plants that have substrates that I'm gonna use this to collect the cuttings initially, and then I'll spray them all before I pot them up. This is just an unfortunate series of events, but any plant that has like come from somewhere that I never repotted it, I'm going to take it out. So this is the first one. I have this just gonna try to stop that little leakage, because that's probably not gonna really stop it, but yeah. Anyway, I don't know, should I do this as 1 or 2? I guess I could put 2 in the pot. I guess. I'm thinking about it. I could just leave it as 1, right? What y'all think? Not me sitting here asking y'all like y'all could really answer. I think I'll just leave it as 1, because it kind of looks all right growing as 1 right now anyway. And then sad news, bad news, but that's gonna go. This is one of the most heartbreaking ones, is that this was on the same shelf. I have literally looked, I'm inspecting, I'm trying to see, and I don't think I see nothing, you know what I mean? But better safe than sorry. So with this one, I'm actually gonna do something a little different, because it is actually a plant that I rooted. So I'm essentially just gonna break the substrate off down to a point, not the whole thing. That's a bit too much. And I'm just gonna cut it. And then I'm literally taking off all the roots as well. That just kind of is what it is at this juncture. That just kind of is what it is. And then I'll put that in here as well. And I'm just gonna keep trying to spray in between, I'm just gonna keep trying to spray in between, y'all. It's really, it's really, this might be really dramatic. And I know some people don't agree with the rubbing alcohol thing. And if you don't agree, that's totally fine. But I've seen people, you know what I'm saying, say that it worked out for them. Not me having the rubbing alcohol here. Okay. And then all of these pots, I'm gonna actually just start by spraying in some rubbing alcohol on the inside. And then I will sanitize them with some other goodies after. But I'm just spraying with the rubbing alcohol first just to be sure. This next one is my Hoya Matilde. So we just gotta, it's gonna smell like mad alcohol in here. But we just gotta do what we gotta do. So the Hoya Matilde, I told y'all that I was struggling. It was having some yellowing, etc. Now, as I look in the pot, I'm not seeing like, you know what I'm saying? Like I'm not seeing nothing. But that doesn't mean anything because this is tight. This is kind of a big pot. And also, since it's already acting a little strange, I feel like it's only right. It's only right. So I am going to chop one of the splashier vines. So here is a vine that I just chopped. If I could just get it to focus. There we go. So you see, like, it's much more splashy. And then I'll chop that up however I see fit after. I don't think I only want to take one vine though. That's kind of crazy. Okay, so I see another one I can take right here. It's type splashy, because I do like the look of the splash. Boom. And I've got a couple of splash. Ooh, ooh, ooh. I know that people are going to be upset to see that some of these plants are just going to go. And I'm really sorry to y'all that rock with me and are disappointed in me letting go of this whole plant. But I took the cuttings. I just can't, like, you know what I'm saying? I just can't actually. That's another thing that I think I missed out on saying is you have to know yourself. I don't have the bandwidth nor the time. Like, ooh, this light is, oh my God, y'all. I could have been messing up the whole video, but luckily I caught that. But basically, I don't have the time nor the bandwidth. I have 2 kids. I want to maintain good friendships. I want to, you know what I'm saying, talk to my mama. I don't have time to be stressed out and doing the 5 most on a pest. So I feel like this is a great reset, restart. And I will be real with you. If all of these spring out root mealies, like say down the line, after all of this effort that I'm putting in and restarting them, then I might have to call it quits and restart. Okay, I'm gonna bring out one that's about to make me cry, but maybe y'all will cry with me because y'all rock with me. This is one of my favorite plants ever. You know what I'm saying? It's my Hoya Noel. But she was literally right next to the culprit plant. So we really don't have choices here. At this juncture, we don't have choices. We do. This is the choice that I gotta make, that works best for me. So I am going to chop probably right about here. Whoa, that just spit a lot. Oh, it was yeah. I feel bad letting go. But I have no choice. I really don't. So I'm going to keep these 3 leaves here and chop into three different sections more than likely. But for now, just to keep things making sense, I should have got a bowl. A bowl probably would have been better for this that I'm trying to do. This hurts, especially because this vine was just coming out. But let's even see, because if I pull this out, I'll probably be able to see. Yeah, I think so, but I'm not sure. I can't see. It's a lot of perlite. And that's another thing. Really and truly, had I just changed out the pots of these when I first got them, had I followed, let me finish messing with this bag first. But y'all, had I followed the advice that I give for most other plants and the advice that many people give about like repotting the plant when you get it. No, let me not use that. I'm just going to spray it though. Yes, I am sanitizing everything as we go. But yeah, had I just followed the advice that I give, I could have been all right. But here I am. And then also, before I even repot, I do intend to take everything off this table, spray it with alcohol. I'm not even playing. Because honestly and truly, I'm going to be upset if my collection takes a downturn right? Because I didn't want to restart collections. Like plants are living things, they go through things. And right now these Hoyas are going through some things, and it just be like that sometimes. So this is the viola. She's been through it with me, but you know, that's all right. She's gonna keep growing. She's a grower. So I'm gonna just chop this stem right here. Oh, you know what? I think I'm gonna remember. I think I'm gonna remember that this is the viola. Let me actually just put that one outside of it just to be safe. And then I'm just trying to get one that has some nicer looking leaves. Boom. And then the bouquet, she's out of here. This is really painful. I gotta do it. I gotta do it because my thing is I could wait to see if they have them, but if they all if I wait and like do like mild treatments, you know, soaking, peroxide, etc., those things don't have to work. And honestly, waiting runs the risk of me having a much harder time down the line. And I don't want that. So here's another one of my favorites. This is so sad because remember when I said I was so excited that my Hoya arena was turning into a wreath and this, that, and the third, and we were so hyped and this, that, and the third. And now here we are, and we yeah, that's that's a painful one. That's a painful one. I'm also sad because I'm gonna have to let go of the first leaf that I ever grew on this plant because it's a little bit too close down here for my liking. So there's that. I feel like I should cut it right around here, you know, because I know they travel up the stem, but just trying to cut a little bit further than actually I gotta love myself. So I'm chopping that piece off. And this will also allow me to have multiple vines in the pot. I'm sad because, you know, she was getting ready to be a bloomer. You know what I mean? She was. It's really sad. And this one, I also can't fully really tell. I think they are in there though. I don't know. I think so. I think so. That mix also isn't mix that I had. It's again from like I never changed it, and I think that's an L that I took. I should have never did that. And I will also be very serious moving forward on changing substrates. I'm not using anybody. I don't know. I'm moving like NXT plants, like Nick from NXT plants who be like, I don't trust nobody substrate. That's how I'm moving. So sorry. I am so sorry. It just yep. Everything is getting the quarantine, deep quarantine treatment. Deep quarantine. Because right now we're letting go of a lot of growth. But that just kind of is what it is. Another sad one. This is sad, yo. This one is sad. And I'm just checking around. My thing is I look in the pots so often that it really broke my heart when I saw the little fuzzy, you know what I mean? That broke my heart. And the little babies move really fast. So when I saw the little babies moving around, I said, yeah, dub. That's a dub. That's a dub. I don't even want to keep the pots. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, I don't even want to keep I'm not even going to keep the pots. Truth be told with you, if I could just somehow not have to keep all of this stem right here, I really wouldn't. Nah, I think it's possible. I think it's possible. I think it's crazy, but I think it's possible. I think it's crazy, but I think it's possible. Y'all can't even see how crazy. I'm going to show you. I took the tiniest, I think this is how short the stem was when I got my, what was that called? The plant that I got? It's a thin leaf Hoya. It's a thin leaf Hoya. It was very, very itty bitty little. Yes. But this is I said Sasuela. This is the Sulawesi GPS 8867. But this is all we got left here. And I think everything is going to be fine. I think everything is going to be fine, y'all. I'm really trying. But I really said if I don't just sit down and do it, it's not going to get done. I'm kind of sad because I just took this out the bin, bro. So I'm almost sure that this is fine, but at the same time, it was on there for long enough that things could have got to it, you know? I'm basically at a point where I just don't want to I don't want to be going through nothing with the plants like this. I'm also going to change my gloves once I'm done with this part of what I'm doing. I am going to change my gloves. Surely am. So boom, that's one right here. This is the GPS 9303. Y'all, this is the Great Hoya Reset. That's what I should call this video. The Great Hoya Reset. Because it's a good amount of Hoyas. This is at least 17 of my Hoyas are going down. Luckily, the ones in my office, I don't see anything crazy. So I'm choosing love, I'm choosing light, and I'm going to just put more systemic in their pots. I'm kind of glad that I at least just memorialized my collection, because imagine I had no evidence that I actually had this collection that I have right here, you know? Imagine that. So this is my, I just did that mad quick, but I'm going to keep this one leaf. This is my Hoya UT073. I also never changed the substrate that it was in. Again, bad idea. Okay, so this next one is my Jennifer. I'm actually just looking through. You know what I mean? I'm just checking. I am just checking. My thing is, I also had a Jennifer that was in the living room. So I had this one that I have it up for sale. I do intend to take down any of the Hoyas that didn't exist in a bin. I'm taking them down from sale. So there's that. So like the Tangamus, most of the Hoyas that I was selling were already in my prop bin. So I just kept them in a bit, like they've been in a sealed bin for months and months. There's nothing going on with them. I think what I'll do is probably take this Hoya Jennifer down, like off of sale. And then this Hoya Jennifer, I'm just going to let it go instead of trying to, chop it. That will also save me substrate. That's kind of sucky. But look, y'all, I got to be drastic. I got to be me. Okay, I'm literally going onto Palm Street to take down this listing. Yeah, so I just deleted the Jennifer listing. And I'm also going to delete the chicken farm listing, which kind of sucks, but that is what it is. But though that chicken farm was on that same shelf like just a couple weeks ago, so like a week ago, yeah, about a week and a half ago. I just don't feel comfortable selling anything that was in contact with or near anything that had pests. So I just took those down. But all the rest of these plants we're not in contact with. They don't have any. So I'm good on that front, which I'm glad. I'm glad that I already was propagating and like having things in a very isolated area so that they could be good for sale. Yeah, because it would have actually spiritually moved me if it turned out that I was selling plants that had root mealies, but unknowingly. So luckily, none of these plants that are here were ones that I was selling or near the ones that I was selling. So that's sensational. But yeah, let's keep going on our chop spree. I'm real sad about this one, but I chose to do this because it was on that same shelf and it also came from what is the word for it? A pot with that I never changed. So this is my UT038, and I'm just gonna chop that long vine off. I will have a lot of Hoya content coming down the pike. Yeah, I do want to keep my trellises though, because trellises are definitely not cheap. But everything else, a lot of this stuff, like these little plastic cups that I made, is not necessary. But spraying it with the alcohol, I think, is smart. And then I'm gonna make sure I wipe those all down and just spray the inside of these pots. Oh my God, not the Kalimantan. Oh, let me look. Honestly, I hope I'm not being dramatic. My thing is that I saw them. My problem is that I saw them in too many different plants to not take this kind of action. And yeah, the only one that wasn't in the same, like on the same shelf was the, what is that? The tortum, but the tortum used to be right here. Do you know what I'm trying to say? The tortum used to be right here. I treat all these plants regularly with the systemic granules. So that could be why, you know what I mean? That could be why I didn't really notice anything. But yeah. Anyway, here is Miss Kalimantan. I don't know how I'm gonna actually have to put. I don't even know. Oh, I got another cup that I could use. I'm gonna put some of them gonna go inside of another cup because I don't know how I'm gonna remember all this. But I am. This is kind of crazy. Oh my God. Okay, next, this is my What is this plant? This is my surprise, the Dakier with the chicken farm. Dakier chicken farm. Now, this plant has so much algae that I can't even fully see what's really the tea inside the pot. Yeah, I see a little something strange down there. I see a little something strange. So boom, I took a little cutting. That's sad. R.I.P. 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 to the real homies for real. R.I.P. So here's another one. This one is kind of a sad case because first of all, this leaf is dehydrated. I haven't watered this plant. It just came out of my prop bin. I'm really not really sure what's going on. I'm really not sure. I'm gonna actually let go of the side that's dehydrated because we just don't have time. It's my Hoya Arena from Plant Haven. And yeah, let's put that. There are so many similar looking Hoyas. Anyway, we just gonna get rid of that. I know this is probably painful for y'all, bro. It's painful for me, but I had to do it. I thought about it too. I really did think, like, what should you do? And I had people telling me how to treat, how to rinse the substrate and this, that, and the third. But the most effective solutions I've seen are taking off the substrate completely and spraying the roots down, etc. Hoya roots are very difficult to do that to. So that wasn't going to be a really easy option, especially because of how I plant my Hoya up. They are planted into cocoa chips for the most part. So yeah. Okay. Nothing on this one either. So that's great. Any of the Hoyas that I sold or have sold, etc., they were all isolated for a long time. So they look absolutely fine. These are just plants that happen to be in the same vicinity as the one that I just saw that was afflicted. This is the RPH 013. I see nothing in this pot, but again, because it was in that neighborhood, we just got to be safe. I'd rather be safe than sorry. I'm so sorry to tell y'all that. Okay. This one breaks my heart as well, but this is going to be an easy one to just chop because of the internodal spacing. Boom. And then boom. And this is my Lai Chow. It's a real pain, but I would rather this than Pest, bro. If I'm honest with you, I would rather this than Pest. And I at least know that I'm not getting rid of them completely out of my collection. This is like the effort that I'm willing to put in. I'm not willing to put in. I keep saying the same things. I feel like this is my version of a crash out about this. I'm low-key crashing out. Yeah, I'm basically just sad to have to do this. And now for the finale, the one that set it off in here. So for the finale, I saw them again recently on my, what is this called? My Finlaysoni Angel. I don't know if you could see it. Okay, that little white dot there, white dot here. That might be one too. Yep. It's all throughout. I watered it recently with peroxide, and then that's how. Okay, so this happened like a few days ago. A few days ago, meaning like 2 days ago. I fully was like, okay, I saw them, and then I was like, oh my god, how do I treat this? Like, what is the best course of action? Then I started getting a little bit overwhelmed because I'm like, okay, there are a lot of Hoyas that I got. You know what I mean? And then that's when I saw the good old recommendations from the guys and the gals and the theys and the thems from all the peoples of the world that basically were like, listen, bro, you could just start the whole thing over, spray them down with the rubbing alcohol and treat with a systemic and be consistent on that front. And you should be all right. Okay? Because spraying with the systemic, cutting them up and then spraying them with the alcohol will kill anything that's on the plant, right? So that should also help, right? So now that I've just done that, okay, I'm going to tie this up. Step 2 is to just give it a little dusting. Just give my little work surface a little cleaning with the rubbing alcohol. So actually what I plan to do is I just sprayed this area. I have this little tray. It's not really a tray, it's a lid. But I'm going to spray the plants. Or you know what? I'm gonna use some paper towel. I'm gonna spray the plants over the paper towel and then wipe them with a piece of paper towel. I'm trying to split it up to make it to make the paper towel stretch. I don't like to waste it too bad. Spray it over the paper towel, put it on here after it's been wiped off. So yeah, that's the step or the phase that we're in, is the spraying. And I'm gonna do really good to make sure I spray the stem everywhere, like any crevices. I want it to get really wet and doused with the rubbing alcohol. And then, not me splitting the paper towel in half. I am though. I just made little squares so I can fully wipe it off. And any parts that are not necessary, I will just trim off at this juncture too, to ensure that my future plants are as pretty as they can be. I gotta do what I gotta do. And I've seen, shout out to, I think it was Tiara that sent me somebody who, was it Tiara or was it somebody I was watching on Instagram? Look, all I know is I saw somebody who sprayed their plants with straight up rubbing alcohol, and it was a lot of controversy, child. And they were like, bro, the same plants that y'all sitting here talking about, oh my God, I can't believe it, and your plants are gonna be dead. Her plants were alive. And I said, you know what? Sitting here listening to too many people that are just following people with no, you know what I mean? Yeah. Like maybe it's gonna cause harm. Maybe it causes harm in y'all's homes. I don't know. And hopefully this doesn't, literally kill my plants. But if it does, then it is what it is. Like, you know what I mean? Like, what am I gonna do about that? I don't think there's any point, even though I just sprayed it, and keeping that top piece. So that's the RPH. It's been wiped down, cleaned with the rubbing alcohol. I'm gonna spray this. This is the plant that really, I know that it has, I know you are there. So I'm really trying to do my best to ensure that any little babies that found their ways up the stem, yeah, you're dead, Yeah. If y'all have had root mealies and had to battle them, please do tell me and you won the battle. Let me know, because from all the people that I know that have battled these little pests, these little buggers, they all telling me like, child, burn everything. You know what I'm saying? There's no point keeping the substrate. Don't even, you know what I mean? That's a long day. And I say, you know what? You right. And if it's a plant you don't like, let it go. I know some people, I know. I saw the same feedback about the alcohol on the leaves and Ray Tay Tay. But I also saw that it was working for some people. That's a few done. This is really a tedious process. I'm actually kind of hungry right now. Like, as I'm sitting here, this has been happening to me the last few times I record. Like, I'll just realize that I'm very hungry, like halfway through. And I can't pause. I know some people be like, I'm gonna pause and go eat. If I stop, I'm not coming back. I'm not gonna come back. I'm gonna lay down, I'm gonna watch Bob's Burgers, and I'm gonna move on with my life. So I'm just trying to, finish what I'm doing. Okay. We are just spraying and spraying. I don't see anything, but this is just really a horrible case. I'm telling y'all. And so many of these Hoyas that I'm seeing are Hoyas that I have fully started over before, or had to like a lot of any of the ones you see that maybe I talked about came from Plant Haven. They're Hoyas that I already, like, their existence is rooted in being started over when they came to me. And now they're being started over again. But hopefully this time they come back better, bigger, better, you know what I mean? Smarter, all of that. This is kind of relaxing though, like the whole spraying it and wiping it. Wiping leaves is type relaxing. Like, actually, when I really am I'm like in my big bag and I'm feeling like, let me make sure the collection is in a good space, and I go around spray leaves, I actually enjoy it. So there's that. We are doing great. We're doing a good job. We are doing a good job. Time-wise, this is, I will not tell you a lie, this is very tedious. And also, apparently, like, rubbing alcohol, if you spray it, it works against a good amount of like bugs, even like tiny mites and all that good stuff. So this could be a good little reset for them overall in general. So there's that. There is that. I just know there's a lot of controversy against spraying straight up rubbing alcohol. Oh, I just ripped it. The poor plant. Oh, poor baby. Okay. I have plans for the next time I do get plants to show y'all my new like routine. I even got these bins from IKEA. I got this idea and such from watching Alice from You Don't Even Grow Here. I really appreciate how she utilizes bins. Instead of like just a bin with a lid, sometimes she'll stack like two bins on top of each other to give it more height and all that. And I like that idea. And I am using that idea for acclimating any new purchased anthurium, but also I got 4 so that I could have a bin for anything that doesn't come from the same place. And my intention with that is to likely keep new plants away from, as much as this might sound crazy, this also might help me with what's the word for it? But yeah, I might start keeping my new plants away from my general collection for probably like a month or maybe even 2. And that also will help with reducing any pest pressure in my collection. So probably keeping them away for a couple months is going to be, one, the key to success. And then B, it will also prevent me from having to do things like this. And at least if I get into motions like this, I know that I did everything I could to prevent it. Whereas right now I'm just kind of kicking myself, right? Like I'm about to be look at this. This is quite literally one of my favorite. Ooh, down goes Frazier. Down goes a what is that plant? Not me using my foot to bring it towards me. I think it's my Hoya. Okay, it's a Hoya arena that just fell. But anyway, what I was saying is this is literally one of my favorite plants. This is my Noel, and I'm having to restart my Hoya Noel. I'm actually looking, this bottom piece of vine look crazy. The vines just start looking old as wow. Anyway, should I cut this first? Yeah, I might as well. I already started. But at least now I'll have some more Noel. I don't know. But had I just taken the old substrate off and rinsed the roots, like I literally knew in my soul, okay, y'all, I knew in my heart and my soul that that's the way to do things. And I promise you, from everywhere else but this one place, I was doing that. I don't know why I didn't do that with these plants from this one place. Too much trust for no reason. Literally, I have no valid reason. I would just be like, I never got pests from there. But now I'm thinking about it, most of the plants I was finding pests in, right? And for example, if I found them in the tortum first, I think that might have been, and I didn't change that substrate. I think that might have been what brought it in, is plants coming in that substrate from that place. And I'm not trying to, lay blame OD or nothing like that. I really am thinking to myself, like, I can't, because I am of the belief, right? You can't necessarily ensure for a fact that you'll get 0 pest whatsoever when you get a plant. And I think that's a little bit, you should not have a plant crawling with pests, right? Like you shouldn't. Maybe you might have microscopic bugs on it that people can't see, but you shouldn't have anything that's like crawling with pests. And I've never gotten that from this place. But I think going so far as to trust that everything is fine with the soil and all that. And then even as I was learning things, for example, learning more about like root mealies and stuff like that, I should have just changed out those substrates and treated those plants accordingly. I also should have been treating my plants when they first came into my collection with some kind of systemic or something along those lines, because bro, I literally was just spraying them down and then keeping them a little bit away. But I should have been a little bit more diligent, and that's kind of what I'll be doing moving forward. So I'm kind of excited to share how I am going to acclimate my new plants and just like the process of that as my collection becomes more, important to me. It's just I really like these plants, right? Like I'm at a point where I love all of the plants that I have and I would like them to survive. So yeah, just trying to, take life seriously on that front. Okay, so I have a lot of arena cuttings. Okay, actually, as I'm sitting here thinking about it, I know I want to keep this leaf. But it's not necessary. It's not. So I'm going to keep these 2 smaller cuttings because they're more practical for putting in my prop bin. But this is the Arena AH015 that I got from Gabriella Plants. And see, like, this is another example, right? I never change the substrate. That is crazy. I know that that works for some people, right? But those people that it likely works for, I don't know. I just don't. It's not even that it means that every plant that I get is probably coming with something in the substrate. That's not even what I'm trying to say. Sorry, y'all. I'm a chill. This is a lot of paper towel use. I know, but anyway, it's not even that. That's not even what I'm trying to say. But what I am essentially like getting at is that if I wanted to keep it in the same substrate, then I would have had to go about a certain course of action, right? But now experiencing what I'm experiencing, I don't have any interest in like my entire collection being infested with like root mealies, because some of these were really in a position to start doing some sensational things for your girl. This is sad, bro. This Gunungatting looks so good. It was just getting in a good spot and I'm having to put it back through hell. And rooting this was not an easy plant for me to root. So I don't even have full confidence, but I'm happy that there's at least another area I can cut from if this bottom piece doesn't do well. I'm like, as I'm looking, I'm like, dang, this is a lot. I just emptied out my prop bin because I literally just said that I want my prop bin to be empty for things that I wanted. I had intended to use this specific prop bin for the new plants that I was getting. Even that, like, I have this $100 gift card on. Ooh, where is you leaking from? Yeah, I have this $100 gift card from for Gabriella Plants, and I'm gonna just have to wait, honestly, until all of this has like cooled down before I order something. And I preferably would order anything with like a very chunky root that's very easy to change the pot on. I probably will not order any Hoyas. Not because I love Hoyas, but I probably just won't order Hoyas that aren't. I just won't order any Hoyas right now because I don't really want to. I'm not gonna want to restart Hoyas once this happens, and I probably will be taking that kind of approach with my Hoya growing moving forward, which is kind of just restarting them. I think I'd rather get Hoyas from like cuttings or buying two leaf, one node plants that are, easier for me to just take the roots off and start over versus getting these very established plants and feeling bad that I'm having to do all what I'm planning to do. This Mathilde, I don't even know how I don't know what the game plan is with this actually, because it's a long stem, but I just like what this looks like. This is so pretty. I had to keep this one. I had to. Just want things to be okay. I'm sad because this just grew with a nice amount of internodal spacing, like a small amount. And here we are having to start her over. Okay, now we're at the part that I'm excited about. I've just sprayed the rest of the table to make sure everything is good. This is the easy part. And I'm gonna change my gloves actually. I didn't have a whole lot of perlite, so I decided to do 50-50 perlite and stratum. I'm gonna just mix that real quick. And actually, I think for this next part, I don't normally do this, but I'm realizing that I'm just saying the same thing over and over again. I'm just gonna, chill, make it quiet, put some music on. And y'all could also, if y'all doing some plant chores, do that too. Yeah, and I'll just pot them up and vibe with y'all in silence. Cue the music. All right, y'all. Thank you so much for sticking with me through this long, mildly chaotic journey. I have just finished potting them all up, or I guess potting them up into a mix of fluval and perlite. I had to do that because I was running out of perlite, so I needed to stretch it. I had fluval, and I had rebought fluval because I had a dragon's breath that I was gonna use it for, and then I got rid of the dragon's breath. It'd be like that. So I'm essentially just going to pump spray some water into each of them, and keep the bin very much so closed moving forward. And I'll do some progress updates on how they're looking and, maybe even aftermath of the alcohol spray, which I foresee nothing happening with that, but just in case. So with that being said, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and I will see y'all in the next video. Bye.